Hey guys, the OCG Fluffal Deck here with a deck profile for you, and it's on DN for a change because Devpro is not wanting to update. Who knows, maybe with time this gets updated, uploaded. Devpro might finally have it, but I don't know. Anyway, so this is Fluffals. I've been playing this deck extensively since Toy Network updated. Oh my god, I love this deck so much. It's so fun to play too. You'll notice some changes. I'm sure somebody probably saw my extra deck and stuff while I was playing those duels on a DN that I uploaded. Uh, I used to run nothing but fusions, but however, and honestly that worked fine up until I ran into some problem cards like Beals and other big monsters that I can't kill by card effects or battle. So I had to take out a few fusions, throw in some key exceeds. I threw in Gachi Gachi since owl plus sheep equals Gachi Gachi. Now, first thing you'll notice is that this deck has 50 cards in the main deck. Before you harp on me about that, let me just say that it is really, really hard to get this deck to work and have less than 50 cards. Now, I guess one could say, okay, you don't really need Fluffal Crane. You could take that out. You don't really need Stitching Reborn. You don't really need Fusing Conscription, although it's basically the same as this card, but however, this card grabs back Poly from Grave. And this eventually starts out pretty much anything. What I'm trying to say, though, is that in order to get like the most consistent build, this is the only way that I've been able to do it so far. That being said, maybe one of you guys can come up with a way to slim it down. One card that I have thought about taking out is Fright for Factory, but then I rethought that as it came in quite handy in a few duels that I sadly did not record. Anyway, so onto the deck profile. I play 3 Edge and Chain. He searches out all the Fright for cards in the main deck, and it goes for Fright for Factory and Fright for Fusion, which is the Miracle Fusion. He can also search out that Fright for Trap card that is basically Stitching Reborn, but Trap version. I didn't bother playing that, the Trap version of this, although I guess it is interchangeable. Not really much of a difference aside from this being faster. But this guy, he searches out any Fright for card by any means, so long as he hits the grave from hand or field. You can't Fool's Burial him, sadly, so yeah. He can also search out another copy of himself if you attack with him, but you will rarely, if ever, use that, especially since you can only use one or the other per turn. Kinda sucks. I played 2 Egypt Sabers. You don't need 3 because of his recurring ability, which is really nice. I played 2 Edgem Saw. This guy basically lets you ditch a Fluffal to draw 2 cards. Then you have to put 1 card from your hand on either the top or the bottom of your deck. I feel like this guy would be 100 times better without that, and I'd probably play him at 3 if he did not have that cost to put something back, because you're basically drawing 1 card. Which kind of sucks, but hey, it can help out, and it has been pretty helpful. Next to play 3 Edgem Tomahawk, he ditches any of the other Edgems to the grave from either the hand or the deck, and depending on what you do, if you ditch it from the hand, your opponent takes 800. If you ditch it from the deck, your opponent, Tomahawk becomes that monster, so he basically kind of is an Elemental Hero Prisma in a way. Next, I play 3 Fluffal Bear. He searches out Toy Vendor, which is this card over here, and he is just a pretty good Fluffal monster in general. You can also tribute him to get a Poly back from grave. I've never had to use that effect, but I can see why you would need it late game. Fluffal Dog, he's a Stratos for the deck. He can grab any Fluffal monster and Edgem Sabers. He sadly cannot grab the other Edgems. I don't know why Konami did not just put Edge Imp monster, but no, they had to specify Sabers. It sucks. Next is Fluffal Owl. Whenever he is normal or special summon from the hand, you can add Poly from your deck, or you can pay 500 life points during each turn to fusion summon a Fright for. It's not bad at all. Fluffal Sheep. This card is pretty good. If you control a Fluffal monster other than itself, you can special summon it from the hand. You can return another Fluffal monster you control to special summon an Edgent monster from either your hand or graveyard. Pretty nice effect. There have been times where I've wanted to play 3 of it, but I've only been playing 2. That's mostly due to space constraints. I don't want to go over 50 cards. I think I've already uh, um, made it pretty bad considering it's 50. But hey, it's been working pretty well. Next, I play 3 King of the Swamps. Sadly, he cannot fill in for a Fluffal monster except for a Fluffal Bear for Fright for Bear. But however, he can fill in for any of the edge imps, which is really nice. Next, I play 1 Other Darkness. Oh yeah, and also this guy can search that Poly, which is also pretty nice. I play 1 Other Darkness. You play, what, 10 Darks? 1 Fool's Burial to mainly get Disintegrate, although if you need another target for, like, I don't know, Fright for Fusion, it's pretty nice. How many times am I going to say that this whole video? Next, I play Fright for Factory. Continuous spell card. It's basically banish a Poly spell card or a Fusion spell card from your graveyard, except the Fusion Wave motion, to Fusion summon a Fright for Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters on your in your hand or on your field. If it is sent to the graveyard, you can target a banished Fright for Fusion and add it to your hand. Pretty good card. It's basically makes up for Poly late game or early game if you don't have Poly and you don't have any way to search it out, which I'd be very, very surprised if you do. Next, I play 1 Fright for Fusion. No, not 1. I play 3. I'd be stupid if to play 1. I play 3 Fright for Fusion. This card is basically Miracle Fusion, but for Fright Furs. It is really, really good late game, and it can help out early to mid game as well. That being said, it is a really good card. Next, I play 2 Fusion Conscription. You basically reveal a Fusion monster from your extra deck, and if you do, add one of the Fusion materials listed on that card, and it has to be specific. And you basically add it from your deck to your hand. You can't summon it, you can't use its effects, you can't do anything with it except to use it as a Fusion material. Generally speaking, you're going to want to add one of the edge imps or Fluffal Bear if you really need it. I play 2 Fusion Recovery just for general recovery purposes. You get a Poly and a Fusion Material monster back to your hand. 2 MST, triple Poly, you need it at 3. 1 Regeki, honestly you could take this out if you really wanted to. 2 Stitching Reborn, it's either 2 of this or 2 of the Fright for, I can't even remember what it's called, it's a trap card. They basically both do the same thing. You summon a Fluffal or a Fright for from the graveyard. The only thing is that the Fright for trap card does not negate the effects, but however treats it as a Fright for monster. Well, you can treat it as a Fright for monster, but obviously that card is a trap card, this card is a spell card. The main thing about this card is that you can use it to bring back, I don't know, bear or dog or owl or sheep or whatever, and go for a Fusion Summon if you only have Poly in your hand. Toy Vendor is a pretty good card. Once per turn, you can discard a card, draw 1 card, and reveal it. If it has a Fluffal monster, you can special summon any monster from your hand, otherwise discard it. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can grab a Fluffal monster or Edge Imp Sabers from your deck to your hand. Again, why they only specify Sabers, I don't understand. Next up is Fluffal Crane. When a face-up Fluffal monster you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster or by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, target one of those monsters, add it to your hand, and if you do, draw 1 card. And this card basically allows you to reuse your Fluffals that die by battle, as well as also getting to draw a card. It is a really good trap. I would play it at 3 if I had the space for it, but 2 has been working pretty well. Then I play 2 Fusion Reserve. This trap card is awesome. Reveal 1 Fusion monster in your action deck. Add one of the Fusion materials listed on that card from your deck to your hand. Then you can add 1 Polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. It does basically the same thing as Fusion Conscription. Only thing is that you also can grab Poly from your graveyard. And also, the monster's effects are not negated, so you can search out Bear, ditch him for setting Toy Fender into the graveyard, not the graveyard, into the spell and trap card zone. And aside from that, it's also a really good card. It's definitely MST bait, which is a really good thing. I'm not even going to bother going over side deck. This is completely your opinion. Onto the extra deck. 1 103 Ragnar 0, 1 101, and then 1 Gachi Gachi. I play Gachi Gachi just for the heck of it. You can play any other rank 4 or whatever you want. And then I play 2 Fright for Wolf, 3 Fright for Tiger, 2 Fright for Sheep, 1 Fright for Mad Chimera with that crazy awesome artwork, 2 Fright for Leo, and 1 Fright for Bear. Now, my reasons for doing this is because Leo, he's basically a good just general beat stick. He kills a monster, equips it onto him, and gains 1,000 attack for each monster equipped onto him. Like that, really generally good card. He can get over a lot of things late game. Leo, he is verbatim a Focusaurus. He can target any face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster, and he cannot attack directly that turn. The only difference is he has 100 less attack, and he's a fusion monster. Frankfurt Mad Chimera is basically a late game boss monster. You probably won't summon him very often, but however, if you do, he is just really, really good. He's a Goyo Guardian. Your opponent can't respond to his attacks, and the monster, it doesn't matter. I don't think it. Yeah, you can summon it in attack position. The monster he kills, and he gains 300 attack. But however, the monster he kills that brings back, it loses half its attack power. But that doesn't really matter, generally speaking, because he can run over just about anything. Then I played 2 Fright for Sheep, I already said. But the reason why I played 2, even though this card is arguably one of the best Frightfurs, is because it has self-reoccurring. If this thing dies by your opponent's battle, by battle in general, or by your opponent killing it with a card effect, it comes right back with 800 more attack points. And when you declare an attack with this thing, your opponent can't activate anything in response. This card is really, really good. That being said, though, I'd only play 2 because, again, it has self-reoccurrence. Then I played 3 Fright for Tiger because this guy, whenever he is summoned, he pops basically everything your opponent controls, and he gives monsters, other Fright for monsters, and himself as well, 300 attack for each Fluffal or Fright for monster you control. About the popping thing, it's up to the number of fusion materials you use, and you can use Edge and Sabers plus 1 or more Fluffal monsters, so you can, I don't know, Fright for Fusion for 10 monsters, pop 10 cards. So theoretically, you can destroy your opponent's entire field. 2 Fright for Wolf because he can attack as many times per fusion materials that he was used for. So, fuse for 4 monsters, okay, he can attack 4 times. Go for game with that. Perfect LTK. He is a really good monster, but however, that 2,000 attack really kind of constrains him. So I feel like 2 of them is really good. With that being said, though, that pretty much rounds up the deck. These guys, again, are more for the counter cards that are just, like, not killable by the rest of them. Although, who knows, maybe once they get more fusions, and I'm sure they will, we probably will have more fusions that can handle situations that these cards would be taking up. Now then, with that being said, what do you guys think of the deck? What do you think I should cut out to try and slim it down? Honestly, as it is right now, I think it's pretty consistent. I haven't really had a truly dead hand. It does sometimes take a while to get going, but once it does get going, it's a menace. And I didn't mean that like wholeheartedly. Just ask my friend. And this card right here, it really helps mill the deck. Just about everything, it mills or searches, and you can just blaze through this deck really fast. Heck, I've had times where I've gotten really low on deck count, even more than my opponent who was playing a 40-card deck. That being said, though, I really love this deck. I can't wait to play it in real life once Crossover Souls comes out over here in TCG land. And with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will probably, once Devpro updates 2 days from now, 4 days from now or something, I will include a Dropbox link for the Devpro first in the deck profile. I just don't know when that's going to happen. So guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day.